That 5 is not supposed to be there, but now we have that hail potential upwards of around 3 inches in diameter. Damaging wind gusts possible a little later tonight of 80 to 90 miles per hour. That is destructive wind. And not only do we have a significant hail and wind threat, we've got potential for some strong tornadoes this evening as well. So what can you do? Let's go over the timeline first. Now through about midnight, we're seeing those storms through eastern North Dakota, Central Valley, looking at a general timeline of about 11 to 2, and western Minnesota between about midnight and 4 a.m. It's important to prepare now before storms really blossom here over the next couple of hours. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts and warnings through tonight, and once that will wake you up. Check your notification and location settings. Make sure that it's set to follow you in your location if you're specifically using your Valley News Live weather app, which is a great tool. You get radar right there as well. And just a reminder that storms, even without tornadoes tonight, are going to be dangerous, as we're seeing right now, that hail threat upwards of 3 inches in diameter. We're continuing to get a lot of pictures in. We are seeing them. We are working to get them into our system and share those reports with you. But we're going to look at this warning here one more time. Again, we are seeing some signs of rotation. Try to turn on the velocity data here real quick. Right there, you see that bright pink? That's where we're seeing a bit of rotation in there, right between Jamestown and Spiritwood. There's no confirmed tornado, but radar is showing signs of spin. And I believe we have Eric's feed. I know we're coming up on our break time here, but are we able to pop that up real quick, Nate, if what he's seeing right now? All right, he is on this exact storm. Eric, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Summer.
What are you seeing?
Yep, Summer, I can hear you if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
I am just to the east of Jamestown. Give me about 10 seconds and I'm going to show you a very impressive wall cloud. I would be very surprised if a tornado warning is not issued for this storm very quickly.
Okay.
Let me get on the other side here. The wall cloud at one point, Summer, was sucking up energy from the surface, basically. It's very, very impressive with what it's trying to do here.
Yeah, the atmosphere
I just
is
have
looking
to get
very,
around.
primed for tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Just got to get around. Got a tractor here that I need to, that is coming around, and then I'll get you a shot of this wall cloud. And the wind speed at the surface, Summer, has increased significantly over the course of the last 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah. Let me. Give me just another minute here to get over to a safe position.
Yeah,
that's really what I need to do. Yeah. But I'm seeing some very large hail reports also coming out of the Jamestown area with a couple of 2-inch or greater hail reports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've had a couple reports with photo evidence of up to golf ball size hail, but radar is indicating again that there's that potential there for 2 to 3 inch diameter hail, which we don't see often around here.
Yes. No, we do not. Okay, here we go, Summer.
Oh, wow.
There, we have two areas here that I'm watching for rotation. We do have a wall cloud. It's a fairly impressive and what I would call stout wall cloud. That is, it's rotating what I would call fairly rapidly.
And what's your exact location again for those maybe just tuning in?
For those at home, Summer, I am right off of I-94, about 3 miles south of Urbana. Okay. 3 miles south of Urbana, North Dakota. Again, just off of the interstate, just south of the interstate. And this is the wall cloud that I'm watching. If you notice, there's kind of an interesting feature here, Summer. It's tilted towards the right. Mm-hmm. It's kind of tilted there. And you can see the strength of this storm as it's just sucking up energy from the surface. We actually have a little feature there on the left-hand side. Some needle-looking clouds.
Yeah, there's that.
It's a sign of how strong this this storm is. Yeah.
You can see some of the inflow right here. That energy really filling into the storm. Your feed is right behind me, Eric. So I'm showing where that inflow is into that lowering of the wall cloud there. That is quite impressive.
Okay. Yeah, it is, and it's getting stronger. Summer. It's not slowing down. The winds behind me are increasing in strength, and that is just inflow. That's energy going into this system.
Yeah, so what he's currently seeing, this is not a funnel cloud, this is inflow and a lowering of the wall cloud. So this in itself is not a funnel, not a tornado, but we could see one come from this lowering. That's what we're watching very carefully here for folks watching at home. Look at that inflow. Wow.
Yeah. I am just looking at an update here. Continuing to watch this storm. We need to get, are you able to get in contact with the Weather Service in Bismarck?
I have Slack open at the moment, yes.
Okay. Can you, I would like to I'm passing on a report to them now. I was able to get it up.
Okay, sounds good. This is really lowering quickly.
And so for folks at home, yes, this is. And so for folks at home, if you are near Jamestown right now, if you are east of Jamestown, near Spiritwood, near Urbana, there's going to be a tornado warning. It just got issued, so they are issuing a tornado warning. We are watching what may be this is the start of a tornado. This is what we would call tornado genesis right here in front of us.
All right, and as we're watching this feed here, I'm going to read off some safety tips for folks, whether you're at home, what you can do. I'm going to step out so you can see this full screen here. If you're at home in this vicinity, you want to head to a basement, lowest level, immediately. As we're watching this, that could produce a tornado at any moment. If you're in the area in a mobile home, an RV, a camper, maybe you're near Lake Ashtabula, you want to evacuate. Seek shelter in a sturdier structure. I've been saying today, maybe phone a friend that has a sturdier structure that you can shelter in. If you're in an apartment, your office building, maybe you're still at school working on some projects, the first level hallway of an interior room or an interior room, away from windows, get low and protect your head. And if you're caught outside, believe it or not, a ditch or ravine is a safe place, much safer than an overpass or an underpass. Those are very dangerous places to be. So Eric, you're saying a tornado warning was just issued for that cell northeast of Jamestown. So I'm going to pull up radar here again so we can see that. Just 1 second as it loads here.
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Summer, we have a funnel cloud here on the right-hand side there. That entire cloud is rotating. Another storm chaser who is a little bit closer than me is reporting a potential tornado right now. But if I am in Urbana, if I am in Spiritwood, at this point, I am taking my tornado precautions.
Absolutely.
If I'm in Spiritwood, if I am in places like Wimbledon, Leal, Rogers, Sanborn, I'm watching this very, very closely.
There's a tornado warning that just is popping onto my screen now.
Yeah.
Tornado warning for the cell that Eric is looking at, that we have the live feed of. Tornado warning in effect until 9 o'clock for portions of Stutsman County. Again, he listed off those cities, a couple in particular, Spiritwood Lake. If you're in that vicinity, you want to seek shelter immediately. This is radar indicated rotation. We have eyes on the skies right here. You can see it in real time. We're not seeing a tornado at this moment, but we've seen some significant lowering. We're seeing that on radar as well. So we're keeping a very, very close eye on this here. In addition to the radar indicated tornado threat, we're also watching that potential for hail upwards of 3 inches in diameter. Getting lots of photos. The Jamestown Marina campground looks to be some golf ball size hail. So lots of reports. A former weather kid, Corbin in Jamestown, sending along a report of some golf ball size hail as well in Jamestown. So significant hail threat, and that was very picturesque. Also looking at that radar indicated rotation. Nate and back, are we able to take a split screen here? Talking to my director in the back. I'm just turning on the rotation, the velocity data. So right here, just north of I-94 in the Spiritwood area up towards Spiritwood Lake, this is where we're seeing those signs of rotation. I'm going to zoom in even closer here, see if we can get some crossroads. Hopefully you can read that. Looks to be 87th Avenue Southeast. My eyesight is not the greatest. Oh, it's much clearer here. Yes, 87th Avenue Southeast, 34th Street Southeast. There's 33rd Street Southeast. If you're in this vicinity, this is exactly what Eric is looking at from afar and seeing that rotation and that lowering of that wall cloud that he has been on for about an hour or so. Hail core as well looks to be slightly diminished from what we've been seeing over the last, let's say, 15 to 20 minutes, but we're having a lot of reports coming in of very large hail. Again, I'm looking at pictures here that are being passed along. The Jamestown Marina Campground, Jamestown golf ball size hail, from the looks of it, from these reports. And again, we also had this photo come in Jamestown as well from Angela Mortensen. We're not done yet. This is kind of the start of our severe risk for tonight. In case you missed it, our severe threat has increased even further. We're looking at an enhanced to moderate risk for severe storms right in between these areas here, the reds and the orange. That's a level 3 and 4 out of 5. So significantly large hail. Destructive wind gusts coming later on tonight, 80 to 90 miles per hour, strong tornadoes possible. A few things, what you can do, I could just show this one, we'll go this one. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts tonight if storms are approaching your neck of the woods. So right now it's in the Jamestown area, expecting more widespread severe weather as the night progresses. Download the Valley News Live weather app, make sure your notifications are turned on, your location is set. You can get updates through valleynewslive.com, here on air, social media. I know these are going out over social media as well. A NOAA weather radio, also a great tool to have. And if you're signed up for those wireless emergency alerts, you'll get them pinged right to your phone as well. Just going through a couple of reports here. Joseph, it looks like, I'm sure you're seeing this text thread. We're getting permission to use these photos as well. Hoping to get these updated into our system. Let's take another look at where the actual storm is right now. Taking a second to load, lots of data coming in. So I want to point out this feature right here. Looks like a hook. That's called a hook echo. That indicates rotation. Okay, Eric is repositioning right here, so we're gonna take his feed as well. But right here is a hook echo in the Spiritwood area. That's the most likely potential area. If this storm is going to drop a tornado, that's where we would see it. And I wonder if we can see it even better if I turn velocity data back on here. Yep, just in that exact same area, the pinks and greens. That is showing the areas of rotation, very tight rotation, just west of Spiritwood. Eric, can you hear me right now?
Yes, Summer, I can hear it here.
All right, we see you on the move. Where are you headed?
If you look on the, I'm going to head east because this storm is starting to surge a little bit to the east. And so I'm going to get back on I-94. I'm going to go a few more miles back towards Valley City and then continue to watch this storm. Because it is so close to the warm front, this storm is most likely going to latch onto the warm front summer, and that means that the tornado threat, the threat for large hail and damaging winds, that is going to continue to increase over the course of the next half hour to 45 minutes. But
yes.
That is what I'm doing right now. I might have seen a very brief touchdown just to the east of Jamestown. I am going to have to look at my video to confirm, but it looked like it was about 2/3 of the way to the ground. So, but either way, if I am in Spiritwood Lake, if I am in Sanborn, if I'm in Leal, I'm thinking about my tornado precautions at this time. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Eric, for being able to provide these and being willing to go out chasing for us. Very valuable information that you're able to pass along, not only to me to provide to folks who are watching this on air, but to our partners at the National Weather Service as well. Continuing just to read some reports in there. Let me switch back to the Grand Forks feed here. Lots of channels to sort through as we're getting a lot of information, not only in eastern North Dakota, but out west approaching Bismarck, seeing some severe weather moving on in as well. But we now have a new tornado warning just issued. This one is for, again, portions of Stutzman County, but also parts of Lemoore County, including the cities of Montpelier and Ypsilanti. Ypsilanti are kind of on the northwestern fringe of this box here, if you kind of orient yourself. Montpelier headed your way as well. So this one, we are looking at radar indicated rotation as well, in addition to baseball size hail, 2.75 inches in diameter. So let's get a look at rotation on this one right here. It's where we see the reds and the greens coming together. That's where we're seeing that kind of axis of rotation just north of Highway 46 and west of Highway 281. This is just west of you in Montpelier, and I'm going to put a loop on this just over the last, let's go 15 minutes. This is tracking to the east. Joseph, are you able to see how fast these storms are moving? I'm going to try to put a storm track on these.
The one in west central Barnes County is moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. The one in Barnes County is moving northeast at 15 miles per hour.
Okay. Just going to put a track on this, zoom out a bit. Northeast, 15 miles per hour. Ypsilanti, if you're in the path of this, you're going to want to be in your safe place, your shelter area sooner rather than later. But it's moving into your region by around 9:18. It's currently 8:42, so it's kind of a slow moving storm. Joseph, what about the Jamestown area storm? Can you see that one for me?
The one in northwestern Lemoore and the one in northwestern Lemoore and southeastern Stutzman County is moving east at 20 miles per hour.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's take a look at this here. Northeast, 15 miles per hour. Let's zoom back out here. Thank you for your patience as I kind of orient my graphics here. We're going to go right on the outer edge of this here and go out. Actually, we're going to do this one instead, give a broader picture. 15 miles per hour. Okay, so Leal, if you're in the path of this tornado warning, as Eric had called out, in the next maybe 10 minutes, expecting this storm to be in your vicinity, at least the outer edges of it, by 8:58. Daisy, kind of on the fringes of that tornado warning, but if it holds together by about 9:30, expecting it in your region. So again, what I was pointing out here is the hook echo feature. I'm going to erase all that so we can get kind of a clean slate here. Right over Spiritwood is where we're seeing this hook echo feature. That's a classic radar signature of rotation. So when we see that, we are really seeing that that storm has a potential to produce some tornadoes. So looking at velocity again, right over Spiritwood, you see those bright pinks and the greens. That's where we're seeing the greatest rotation at this time. I'm not seeing any confirmed tornado reports yet at this time. I've been filtering through reports again from a couple of National Weather Service offices. So this is all radar indicated rotation, but regardless, I would head to your safe location right now. So here's another look at those tornado safety tips. If you're at home, head to a basement or a lower level away from all windows. Get low and protect your head. Mobile homes, RVs, campers, not safe places to be. You're going to want to evacuate as soon as you can safely do so and seek shelter in a sturdier structure. If you're in an apartment or an office building, that first level hallway or an interior room. So you want to make sure that tonight, again, this is kind of the start of what's going to be a very active night. Make sure you've got multiple ways to receive alerts and warnings, ones that are going to wake you up in case of nighttime storms in your location. Make sure your notifications are on, your volume is up, your phone is charged, and you have those location settings set. Storms, even without tornadoes, can be very dangerous. Lightning in and of itself can be a danger. And we're also, again, watching that very large hail and significant wind threat for tonight. So what are some ways that you can stay informed? Take a look here. Your Valley News Live weather app is a great tool. valleynewslive.com. We're streaming on social media as well through our digital desk. Got some colleagues that are awesome in streaming that for us. NOAA weather radio is a great option to have, and wireless emergency alerts if you're signed up on your phone as well. All right, let's get back to tracking these 2 tornado warnings that we are currently watching. So this first one here north of I-94, this is the first one that was issued. Remains in effect for about another 15 or so minutes until 9 o'clock for Barnes County. Not only, again, are we seeing the rotation as I just showed you, but we're also looking at hail up to 2 inches in diameter. And another thing that I can show you here is called correlation coefficients, or really what's called correlated targets. So what I'm seeing here is the radar is picking up on sizes of different objects. So where you see the kind of purplish reddish shading, that's pretty uniform topics. Looks like we're pulling up Eric's feed again. Uniform targets, not topics.
Hey, Summer.
Uniform targets. Yes, Eric.
Yep. Summer, if I am in Spiritwood, I am taking my tornado precautions right now. The wall cloud is starting to get wrapped in rain, but I can still see inside of it. There appears to be a lowering funnel cloud that is located in that hook area that you're talking about. It's right on what we would call, from a storm chaser perspective, weather perspective, it is on the edge of what we call the RFD punch. So that is adding in a little bit of spin. I can see the rain curtains wrapping around this area of rotation. It would not surprise me if there is a tornado on the ground near Spiritwood right now, just based on what I'm seeing here. I am going to have to move very quickly to stay ahead of the hail, which is still significant. Back to you.
Yeah, your safety is definitely what's most important here as well. We greatly appreciate your live looks. And kind of what I was showing, those correlated targets, kind of in line with what Eric is seeing right there. So where we have the, we'll call that magenta colors, that's uniform targets, meaning the radar is seeing targets of about equal size. So what does that mean? Rain is most likely, but where we start to see kind of the yellows and greens, that could indicate some hail. But also when we start to see more of the blue, that tells us that radar is picking up on debris or targets that are of various sizes and not correlated at all. Those targets are very, very different. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that near the Escalation area right now for if we start to see a debris signature, but starting to see some targets that are not quite as uniform at this time around Escalation and Spiritwood. Even up towards the north, maybe moving up towards Leal And we'll put a loop on this of the last, let's go 15 minutes, just to show the general direction. It's not moving much. This is a pretty slow mover. It's only moving to the east-northeast, roughly 15 miles per hour. So kind of a slow mover. And you can see Eric there is repositioning. But we have got 2 tornado warnings. So let's take a look at that other one that we were watching as well here. This one right here near Montpelier, Ypsilanti are also within this tornado warned box. But as you can see right here, it's starting to take on those characteristics of a hook echo right over to Highway 281, where we kind of see that C shape. So we're going to continue to watch this one very closely. If you're in Montpelier, I hope you're in your safe spot right now, in a sturdy structure, lowest level in your protected area. I'm going to turn on velocity data here on this storm as well. Right where you see those reds and greens coming together too, that's where we're seeing that radar indicated rotation. Not seeing still any confirmed reports of tornadoes. Just filtering through these reports here, one more second. Not seeing anything new in regards to any confirmed tornado reports. However, we have had reports, confirmed reports of large hail as well. So kind of the bigger picture here, we're starting to see those storms pop in east central North Dakota. Another round of storms off to the west as well. And Eric, you are on the move, so can you tell us where you're heading right now? I see you're on I-94.
Summer, correct. I am on I-94. I am just a couple of miles east of Escalation. I'm headed towards the Sanborn exit. Looking back to my west towards that Spiritwood area, there is quite a bit of motion and rotation in the clouds and rotation of the rain curtains. I am seeing some signs that there may be a potential rain-wrapped tornado in there, or something that is rain-wrapped. So I would be if I am in near Spiritwood, if I am along I-94, I would be taking my tornado precautions. If I live basically anywhere from Spiritwood Lake over towards I would say probably the Rogers area, I would be taking my tornado precautions. Even if I'm not in the tornado warning, I would expect that this tornado warning is going to be extended towards Sanborn and Rogers in the next couple of minutes. The inflow summer, which is the energy that feeds this storm, is increasing very strongly. I'm feeling there's very strong energy, what we call inflow, going into this storm, and so that is just going to continue to add fuel and energy. Even though there's a storm to the south of it, there is just that much energy around right now to where this storm is still able to maintain itself.
It's
Back to you.
To remain discreet, yeah. So this is the radar. We can pull that back up here. There we go. This is the radar of the storm he's looking at. So he's currently back on I-94, getting ahead of the storm. So he's traveling back to the east, but behind him to the west, this is what he's seeing right there, those signs of rotation, very strong rotation. And looks like this tornado warning is being updated, perhaps. Let me see here. The current warning is in effect until 9 o'clock, so about 7 more minutes. This would potentially be extended as we're continuing to see the rotation, that classic hook echo shape. And I'm going to turn on the velocity data again here so we can see exactly where most of that rotation is. So right between Escalation and Spiritwood, just as Eric was telling us, that's where we're seeing the strongest rotation in this current storm. So Spiritwood, I really hope you're in your safe shelter right now. As Eric mentioned, could possibly be rain wrapped, which makes it harder to confirm, because rain wrapped essentially means the rain is coming down so heavy you might not be able to see a tornado in the storm. So just make sure you're prepared as we head into here the next couple of hours. And yes, I'm seeing that there is a new tornado warning. So this one has been updated. Gonna get the details on this here. So a new tornado warning for west central Barnes County. At 8:33, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Spiritwood, this exact one that we have been watching here, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. We're also looking, just hearing that, Eric, we have a tornado.
Tornado.
We've got a tornado. Where are you looking?
Correct.
Right now?
We have a tornado. We have a tornado summer. I am moving my feed to get at it, to get some video of it. We do have a tornado. This is confirmed. It appears to be a very stout tornado. Getting my feed on it for you right now. There you go. We have a tornado. We have a what
Wow.
appears to be a fairly significant tornado.
What street are you on right now, Eric? Which direction are you looking?
I am 2 miles south of Sanborn in Barnes County.
And you are looking back to the west, correct?
Yes, I'm looking to the west. We have, that is what I would call a pretty stout tornado summer.
That is a classic textbook tornado if I have almost ever seen one. Wow. So there you have it, folks. This storm
that is
that we've been
definitely
watching. Yes.
on the ground.
That is a confirmed tornado right there from our storm chaser, Eric Whitehill, who has been on the ground and really forecasting along with us here over the last couple of days. This tornado warning remains in effect here. The current warning until 9 o'clock, we are seeing that confirmed tornado. Eric, are you able to see any spin up on the ground? Is that tree line in the way? Almost appears that it might be starting to lift a bit. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It looks like it's starting to lift just it's starting to lift just a little bit. That's good that it's lifting. But it could still be on the ground, Summer, just because we're not seeing ground condensation.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It could still be on the ground because you've got the winds wrapping around it.
Exactly, yes.
I believe, just based on my experience and what I have seen in the past, I believe this is still on the ground. I believe we still have a circulation on the ground near Sanborn.
All right, and that
just
warning,
to the west of Sanborn.
That warning was just now reissued. There is a new tornado warning for the same storm that we're looking at right here near Escalation, Sanborn, Spiritwood. This is an observed tornado, as you can see right here from our very own storm chaser, Eric Whitehill.
It's
going back down.
It's back on the ground, Summer. It's back on the ground. Yeah, it's back on the ground. If you can see this, it's back
You can
on the
see
ground.
it crystal clear, yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're able to observe this from a safe location, Eric. But you've been in this business for, what, 20 plus years?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so this tornado
Yep.
warning in effect
Yeah,
until
and
9:30, folks. I'm going to pull up
I'm
your
about
tornado safety
5
tips
miles
here.
away from it right now.
5 miles, okay. So he is looking back to the west from his current location. Folks, if you're in this vicinity, you want to be in your shelter area, a basement, a lowest level away from windows. We've seen this make contact with the ground, and Eric, it almost looks like it's becoming more rain wrapped, at least from my perspective, getting a little bit harder to
Yes.
see and clearly define. I mean, you can still clearly see it, but it's getting a little fuzzier around the edges.
Yeah, it is becoming rain wrapped, but the tornado is still on the ground. So if I'm in Sanborn, if I'm in Rogers, I am taking my tornado precautions at this time. And if I'm in Valley City, I'm paying really close attention to this.
Absolutely.
Summer, I can still see it. It might be a little bit harder here on the video. It's getting wider. It's getting wider, Summer, from where I'm at.
Nate, are we able to pull up boxes? Thank you very much. I just want to kind of highlight for folks at home. Can you pull them up behind me, actually? Because that tornado is becoming a bit more rain wrapped, it's becoming a little bit harder to see. I want to kind of point out the the outer edges of it, if we're able to get his feed behind me, if that's at all possible. It is becoming rain wrapped. It's a little hard. It's okay, Nate, I misspoke there. There we go. Okay, so right here is the outer edge. Here is the other edge. So it appears to be a quite wide tornado, still in contact with the ground. And as we've been watching this over the last 5-10 minutes, kind of lose track of time here, it does appear that it is becoming wider. So watching this very, very closely. All right, I'm gonna pull up radar again, Nate. So we can get another picture. This is not the only tornado warned system that we've been watching either. But here it is right here. The observed tornado that we have seen with our eyes from our very own Eric Whitehill. This new warning in effect until 9:30. If you're in Sanborn, seek shelter immediately if you're not already in your shelter. That tornado, confirmed, is just off to the west of you. Spiritwood, that storm is exiting your vicinity. So some good news there, but it's headed towards the Highway 1 corridor, just along and north of I-94 as well. So if you have friends, family traveling along I-94, make sure to give them the heads up that this is a considerable threat for that observed tornado, in addition to hail up to 2 inches in diameter. I'm going to throw on velocity here as well. That is very classic. And again, we're seeing that it has made contact with the ground, but the radar signature or the velocity signature to further confirm that as well. And I put this feature on just a few minutes ago. It's called correlated targets, and I'm going to take a look at it again because I want to see if there is a debris signature. Looks like it's getting cut off a bit. Okay, so it's possible that we're seeing a debris signature there, but what I can tell you is this is a fairly rural area, so it's possible that we're not seeing a lot of debris being spit up if it's over a field or a bit more of a remote location. I'm going to continue to watch this though as we continue our coverage here. I'll turn off the lightning data too because that kind of overwhelms it. So Escalation and Sanborn, that confirmed tornado right in your vicinity just north of I-94, and significant hail threat too, up to 2 inches in diameter. So even if you're not in the tornado part of this storm, you can see further back just to the north and west a little bit, a large hail threat. Radar indicated hail size of about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. However, we're seeing that it's capable of producing hail up to 2 inches in diameter. So that's what we're seeing right now on the hail core. Let's look at the hail track though. As you can see, just north of Sanborn, north of Spiritwood, the hail core was stronger. So we're continuing to watch this significant hail threat as well. And as I've been pointing out, this is not the only storm that we're watching. Just to the south here too, just along and north of Highway 281, we've got another hail core as well. This is 81st Avenue Southeast and Highway 46. Here's Highway 281 right there. So kind of in the cross sections there is where we've got a large hail threat. All right, we're going to zoom out a little bit now, kind of take a look at the bigger picture once again. As I've mentioned several times, this is kind of just the beginning of what we're expecting here tonight. We expected that severe threat to kick off around 8 o'clock. I believe the first warning came in 7:50 or so. I would have to double check on that, but right before 8 o'clock is when we saw that first warning come in. So right on track for at least the timing of what we expected. All right, Eric says he can no longer tell if it's still down on the ground, that tornado, because it has become rain wrapped, and that can make tracking these a bit more difficult simply because you cannot see it as it is wrapped fully in rain, kind of obscuring that view. And we were able to see that on Eric's feed as well. It was very clearly defined at one point, and then it became a little fuzzier, a little grayer around the edges. And I think we're going to take his feed again here one more time to see what he is seeing. Eric, are you able to tell me what you're seeing right now?
Summer, right now it appears to be wrapped if it is still on the ground. It is starting to get a little bit, it's starting to surge towards the east a little bit. So in the interest of safety, I'm going to get back on 94, go another mile or two east, and then start to take another look back at it. The winds on the ground, Summer, they are still blowing 30, 40 mile an hour plus, feeding energy into this storm. So the inflow is still very strong going into the storm, but right now I can't tell if it's on the ground because the storm appears to be rain wrapped, or the tornado appears to be rain wrapped. So that makes it a lot more difficult to spot. If I'm in the tornado warning, Summer, I am definitely taking my tornado precautions just based on what I was seeing, how strong that tornado was when it was down. I would definitely be taking my tornado precautions, but I'm going to reposition to the east, towards Rogers, and then get another image of it there, just another couple of miles up the road.
Yeah, we've been stressing to folks at
Back
home
to you.
that safety is of the utmost importance right now. You want to seek shelter in a sturdy, safe structure, have multiple ways to receive your alerts, your warnings. But Eric, your safety is important as well as you're out on the road. And as we've been talking about, not only are tornadoes a threat tonight, but large hail. So we're getting more photos coming in here. Thank you so much to meteorologist Joseph Williams, who's here, who's helping me get these photos in. So I showed you this one a little bit ago, quarter to golf ball size hail in Jamestown. Thank you to Angela Mortensen for sharing that one. This one is quite impressive. This is from Lakeside Marina in Jamestown. Colleen, that is a lemon, and that is the hailstone. That is very large hail. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know the diameter of a lemon. However, you can picture one, and that is larger than a lemon. That is very impressive and likely going to do some damage as well. Here you can see this is in Jamestown as well, just southwest in Jamestown. Brianna sharing that one there. And one more photo here too. Looks to be maybe golf ball size hail, also at the Jamestown Marina campground. I want to stress this tonight, camping, if you're out in a tent, in a camper, an RV, a mobile home, you want to seek shelter, because even if you're not seeing a tornado warning, large hail like this can create some damage. So I want to go over the timeline again. Just a very broad overview of what you can expect tonight. Now through about midnight, we're already seeing those storms firing in eastern North Dakota, going to continue to expand in overall coverage. Central Valley, 11 p.m. through about 2 a.m., and then into western Minnesota into the early overnight hours. And in case you missed it, it's been a while since I've showed this here. The severe threat has only increased for tonight. We've got that enhanced to moderate risk of severe weather for tonight, and that continues through about 4 o'clock in the morning. Large hail, I never fixed my typo there, over 2 inches in diameter, as we're already seeing come in. Significant wind gusts are expected still to come tonight as the storms become more linear. Significant wind gusts of 80 to 90 miles per hour will be possible, along with the continued chance of tornadoes as well. Looks like Chief Meteorologist Russ Thomas just walked in. Sorry, I'm trying to look at what do you got for me?
Yeah, I don't know that I have anything specific or new. First of all, I don't have my microphone
I think
on,
we
so
can
I'll
hear
just
you
talk
on mine.
really
Yeah,
closely,
yeah.
just fine. Yeah, just Joseph was giving me the updates here, just walked in. You're doing a great job, but I tell you what, the one thing I noticed right away here is looking at that area, that storm threat, jumping
Yeah.
up to moderate. I mean, enhanced, and we've been talking about this a lot over the last day or so, how when we have an area that's enhanced, that's really unique to have something as large as that in our area. I'm going to
Yes.
step off to the side here just so you can see it and hopefully hear me okay. And now we've got this area right here shaded in red where you've got that moderate. We
Yeah.
rarely do reach this point, and again, it's over such a wide area. It's kind of what we expected. Summer, we talked. I'll just come up here and come
Sure,
next to
yeah.
over here so that we can let the.
There we go.
One of the things we talked about was the timing on this, starting around 8 o'clock. That's exactly about when things started firing up.
Yeah, 5 to 10 minutes beforehand, but pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And what we've seen, kind of what we expected, it was right away when we first saw this over the last 24, 48 hours, really started getting to this, that you just knew. I mean, tornadoes were going to be a part of this, and they'll
Yeah.
continue to be a part of it. We're seeing it start in the area that we expected to see it, which was around Jamestown, that area.
Yep.
And unfortunately, as we look at the movement of these, this is all east-northeast, so what's happening is that line of storms, the strongest storms, and the best opportunity to see severe weather, to see not just severe thunderstorms, but tornadoes as well, that is going to eventually work its way toward the Red River Valley. And the reality is if you're in Fargo-Moorhead in the next hour and a half or so, and you can see, again, spreading a little to the north as well. You just pulled this up, Mayville, Hillsborough. Thank you for doing that. You've
Yeah.
been doing such a good job
Yeah.
here on the cart as well. And I'm just going, okay, I'm just going to follow what Summer's doing here. But yeah, so everything is kind of playing out exactly like we thought it would. And the unfortunate part of that is we're sitting here going, what time is it? 9:10, and we know that within the next 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, we kind of figured up until about 4 a.m. we'd see this system, these storms firing up. And again, because it's happening as we expected, as planned, we're looking ahead and going, okay, we can continue to see these tornado warnings pop up, these tornadoes themselves, and again, pushing off to the east. So as we look at areas like Castleton, like Fargo, we're going, okay, in the next hour and a half, 2 hours, as I just mentioned, the likelihood of seeing a tornado gets higher and higher as we continue to see what's going on to our west and know that what we thought would develop is actually playing to form.
Right. Yeah. We never want to scare folks at home.
Right.
We're just preparing you for the very real likelihood of what we could see tonight, and now what we are seeing tonight. It looks like we've got a severe thunderstorm warning from Page up towards Mayville in the Clifford area as well. This just popping up here in the last few minutes, so I want to get a look at this. This one is warned for quarter-size hail and gusts up to 60 miles per hour just there off to the west of Clifford, northwest of Galesburg. This warning in effect until 10 o'clock this evening. We've still got that tornado warning along the I-94 corridor. I apologize. I hope I'm not moving that too fast. That was kind of jumpy. For that previously observed tornado, unsure if it was still on the ground as Eric had, looks like, all right, taking Eric's feed. He says again, we've got a tornado. Eric, where are you? What are you seeing right now?
Summer, I am just to the west of Valley City, and I am looking off towards my west. I have what appears to be another tornado on the ground just south of the interstate. Give me just a minute here, and we're gonna I'll have it in my, I'll have it here in the, give me a minute.
Yeah, take your time. Make sure you're in a
There
safe
it is,
spot
right.
there. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Saw it there.
Yeah, we have what appears to be another tornado here, Summer. Just south of the interstate. This is going to be just west of Valley City.
All right,
Just
just
west of Valley
west
City
of
right
Valley
now,
City,
Summer.
south of the interstate. I'm getting my bearings here. All right, getting my bearings here on the radar for your exact location there. Crystal clear view of another tornado. All right. And you said that's just south of the interstate, south of Valley City?
Yes, just west of Valley City.
West of Valley City, I apologize. All right, I think I
Yep.
see the area,
Just west of Valley City.
believe I see the area of rotation that is producing that tornado. So can you clarify for me, Eric, how far from Valley City are you right now?
I am, give me just a second here, I will get you that. I am 4 miles west of Valley City. 4 miles west of Valley City.
Okay,
So
yep,
if
I
I'm in
see it
Valley
on
City,
the...
I am, yep. Yep.
Nate, if you're able to pull up boxes for me, I want to show folks where that is on radar. Okay, so there we are. Here's Valley City right here. Eric is about here, looking back towards this storm here that is dropping that tornado just south of I-94. We'll turn on the radar here too so you can see. There we go. Eric, is this in a current tornado warning?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, so we're a little further here. Still within this one here. Okay, so that same storm has produced another tornado. Okay, so this same tornado
Yes,
warning.
And
Okay.
this one, yep, it's another tornado.
Okay, thank you so much for that clarification.
I believe this is a different.
Different
I believe
part
this
of the
is
storm.
a different tornado than
Yes.
the one that we saw. Yep.
The one that you saw earlier was tracking to the east and northeast. This one is now south of the interstate. So it's the same storm system, but a different part of the storm has dropped yet another tornado. Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for that clarification. That is
Yep,
a
and
crystal
this,
clear view
this-
there.
Yep. This appears to be another what I would call stout tornado.
Yes. And I want to point out to folks at home, you may be saying, oh, is this an EF2 and EF3? We won't know probably till tomorrow or perhaps even the next day. Tornadoes are ranked based on damage that they cause. So a team from the National Weather Service will go out and assess damage and later provide a ranking to these tornadoes. So I just want to clarify any perhaps misconceptions there that tend to go around on social media. All right, Eric is 4 miles west of Valley City. I'm looking south of I-94. Another tornado from this tornado warning here. This warning still in effect, a considerable threat for the observed tornadoes. This is now the second one within this storm complex. Thank you so much, Russ.
You bet.
So right here
Oh,
is where we're
wow.
watching that second area. What are you seeing, Eric?
This is what I would call a strong tornado summer.
Okay.
This appears to be fairly strong where it's at. It's also in what we would call a very, very favorable environment.
Absolutely.
This tornado's been on the ground for probably 5 minutes right now. 4 or 5 minutes it's been on the ground for. And it's continuing to move east. Continuing to move to the east. So
All
if
right.
I am near I-94, if I'm in Valley City, I'm getting ready to take my tornado precautions. This cell appears it might be cycling a little bit, but this tornado is still on the ground, Summer. It's still on the ground. Even though it looks like it's just above the treetops, I can still see debris getting wrapped up around it from the base.
Nate, are you able to pull up boxes again for me, please? I want to put on a storm track here. So this complex, I'm just going to go right on the edge of the tornado warning, get ahead of it a little bit. It's moving to the east. Gotta redo that here, I apologize. Moving to the east at now 20 miles per hour, so still kind of a slow mover, but here's what we're looking at. If it holds together, approaching Valley City by about 9:37, so that's 20 minutes, but I would act sooner rather than later. This storm has a history now of producing 2 tornadoes and is continuing to track right along the I-94 corridor. If you have friends, family traveling, give them a heads up. Russ, is that why you're back in?
Oh yeah, no, it is true, and just what you mentioned there, we're talking about, right, fairly slow moving, right? So 20 miles per hour is the direction to the east, and
Yep.
you know what you hope is you don't want to see these things move too slow, obviously, because you know it's just sitting on top of an area, and it sounds like this tornado, as Eric was saying, was just kind of staying put. In other words, it hasn't
Yeah.
lifted; it's been on the ground for a while. The issue is, you're out and you say, okay, well, 20 miles away, I'm about, 10 miles out. That gives me X amount of time. The thing is, other tornadoes could pop up at any point, could pop up ahead of the one that's in place now. So you're really kind of in a zone. And what's happening is all this this activity that's going on, this severe weather, it continues to move into atmosphere that is very susceptible to seeing new storms pop up. No, there's no cap. There's nothing that's really stopping it
Yeah.
as these storms continue to move to the east for the severe weather, severe thunderstorms, or the tornado warnings just to continue to pop up ahead of it. So that's why we get concerned. We start looking at areas, well, like Valley City, like Ariska there, as you, again, continue to push forward over the next couple of hours as we get closer to Castleton, we get closer to Fargo, and we think, okay, there's not a lot in terms of atmospheric energy. Eventually, there will be later this evening, but as Summer's just pointing up right here,
Yeah.
you can see that atmospheric energy. And when you see these areas, these heightened areas in red there, even the orange, but especially get toward the red here, I mean, that is just ripe, that atmosphere ripe for continuation of severe weather, for development of severe weather. And I'm going to put this, or at least my hope was, let's see, I may have Summer. I may
That's
have
on the
you know,
last
That is on.
6
Okay, there we
hours.
go. There we go. I captured
looks
it.
like the
There we go.
tornado is lifted.
So even jumping into here the next couple hours, you can see locations like Fargo, like Fergus Falls, Ellendale, certainly, Siston, still in an area where we have got the opportunity to see that development very easily with this type of atmospheric energy for these storms to continue to develop. And as you see, that continues even as we slide slowly into midnight. Atmosphere will continue to still produce enough energy there for these storms to develop plenty of lift, plenty of instability with this. And by the way, I know Summer's back here in control, but look at all that lightning there as well.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Just getting an update from Eric. He says the tornado appears to have lifted.
Okay. Good
So
news there.
that is good news there, yeah. Just a minute ago at 9:19, now 9:20, Eric says it appears the tornado has lifted. Eric, looking pretty dark there as well. I know we're getting closer to sunset here. What is your next plan of action?
Summer, I'm going to continue to try and move off to the east here, trying to stay safely ahead of this storm as it continues to make its way off towards the east. But I do not believe that this storm is done producing. There's not a lot in front of it that's going to slow it down, basically, and we continue to have very strong inflow into the storm. It is riding the warm front. I would expect to see a continued tornado threat for this on this storm for a while yet. I don't think it's done.
Yeah, and as Russ Thomas was just saying here, there's nothing inhibiting these storms. For most of the day, we had a cap in place, and you've maybe heard us talk about the cap before in regards to severe weather, kind of a lid in the upper levels of the atmosphere that keeps storms from growing. That dissipated by about 7 o'clock. So storms were able to freely develop, and that's exactly what we've seen. And it looks like we've got a new tornado warning
Right.
as well for that same storm. Still that observed tornado threat.
Right, got a couple that just came in, one northeastern Lemoore and southeastern Stutzman, which again, this is the area we've continued to see these tornadoes pop up here just in the last half hour, actually about hour or so now. Now this is moving to the east at 30 miles per hour. Now, yes, thank you, Summer. I'll let you take control of this again. We're looking at the hazards here. Tornado, of course, baseball size hail. So it's, I mean, obviously, tornado. That's the worst part of it. You start talking about baseball size hail, even if that tornado's not on top of you, that kind of hail is enough to injure you or even worse. So with that in mind, please make sure you can find your way a sturdy structure somewhere indoors, inside the interior of your home, certainly away from windows. So that particular warning goes until 9:45, and this is located about 5 miles east of Adrian, which is 23 miles southeast of Jamestown. It is moving a little bit quicker pace at about 30 miles per hour to the east. And we talked about this just a minute ago, and that was that these storms kind of vary in the speed that these these tornadoes are actually moving, can pick up speed, slow down a little bit. So now we've got a system here, or a storm, I should say, tornado that's moving at 30 miles per hour to the east. Also, one that just popped up here. This is until 10 o'clock, I believe. Yeah, there you go. Observed tornado counties, Barnes County, cities, again, Valley City, the one we just talked about there, where Eric was saying, hey, if you're in Valley City right now, want to go ahead, make sure you hunker down, find that spot where you're away from windows, make sure you take cover, go to interior room, a closet, somewhere where you can be protected from things flying around, debris flying around at home. And again, that is until 10 p.m. This tornado warning. Again, you can see some of the safety tips right here that are pulled up. We have what? I'm sorry, I've got bad eyes here. Basement, lowest level away from windows. Get low, protect your head, as mentioned. Evacuate and seek shelter in a sturdier structure if you are in a mobile home, apartment, office, school, first level hallways. Again, this is mainly for apartment at this point. Interior room, away from windows. Again, get low and protect your head. And that's really the big thing. More than anything, sturdy structure, away from windows, making sure you protect yourself.
And making sure that you've got multiple ways to receive these alerts and warnings. You may be watching us right now on your TV. You might be watching us from your phone or social media. I know we're up on various platforms right now. Those are great ways to receive this information. So your Valley News Live weather app, our website, valleynewslive.com, here on air, on our social media platforms that we're streaming, YouTube, Facebook. A NOAA weather radio is a great way to receive those warnings as well. And if you're subscribed to wireless emergency alerts that come onto your phone as well. But one thing with these warnings, make sure you're able to hear them overnight.
Right.
I'm notorious for silencing my phone. A night like tonight is not a night that you're going to want to silence your phone. You want to make sure your volume is on in case you end up in the path of one of these not only tornado warnings, but severe thunderstorm warnings that later on tonight will be capable of gusts of 80 to 90 miles per hour. So want to reiterate that storms later tonight, even when that tornado threat starts to diminish, will still be very dangerous. You want to take those proper precautions.
And I do want to, Summer, if you could look back here,
Yep.
or I could try to find it. I know you've been here. Maybe this is what we're looking for right here, or what I'm looking for, and that is that severe storm threat. I just want to, again, let you know, because this has been updated here in the last, hour and a half or so,
Yep.
where all of a sudden we've jumped in that big red area, that moderate area. And again, this is just kind of doubling down on what we expected. We were in that enhanced area. Again, no surprise at all that we are seeing these tornadoes. And what this tells you as you look at this, I'm going to come right next to you. I'm
go
not
ahead.
going to push you out of the way, Summer. You're doing great. I'm just going to say it. So we were already seeing, of course, that area in orange, as mentioned, that enhanced area. Well, now we've got this moderate area. Notice it doesn't just stop here in eastern North Dakota and does not stop at the River Valley. It continues, and what that is telling you is all these areas, even though we're seeing the action right now in our western areas, James River Valley, this again tells you that over the next several hours, there is that potential to continue to see the severe weather threat. It's not just tornadoes, but of course it does include that. We are talking about, even without tornadoes, if it's severe thunderstorm warning, still, we've got that hail at 2+ inches diameter is the expectation. Wind gusts 75+ miles per hour. So again, we're seeing the action right now, those western areas, but as we move through the later evening, overnight hours, we're also going to continue to see that progression off to the east, and we're going to continue to see development of these very strong storms, the tornado-producing storms that are out there. So again, you get to this level, this moderate here, just want to make sure, as Summer just mentioned, make sure you have whatever it is that's the VNL weather app, obviously it's a perfect example, but whatever it is that you're using, make sure it's turned on, make sure it's turned up. As Summer was saying, oftentimes I just put my phone on silent and I'm done for the night.
Not tonight.
And it's such a habit for me
Yeah.
that I don't even think about it. Let's for tonight. If that's your habit, go ahead and change that right now. Turn the volume up and keep it up so that we can keep you as informed as quickly as possible. You'll have the information because we're going to be here for you.
Yeah, in the timeline, this is going to continue through the early overnight hours. Our tornado watch is in effect until 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's currently 9:27. So we're really just getting started. These storms started firing about 8 o'clock, so it's been about an hour and a half now that we've seen the tornado potential and tornado history on these storms. So we've still got a couple of warnings in place. Got to reload my screen here. All right, there we go. We've got this. I'm going to turn off the lightning data. It's overwhelming, so you can see better. This tornado warning remains in effect until 10 o'clock. It includes the city of Valley City. Again, this is right along the I-94 corridor. Eric has seen and confirmed 2 different tornadoes, one on the north side of interstate, that was back near Spiritwood, and he has seen more recently a second tornado on the south end of the I-94 corridor, south of Sanborn. So this storm has a history of producing tornadoes, and we're still kind of seeing this backward C shape, which indicates that tighter area of rotation. And if we look at the velocity again, we should see those reds and greens. Yep, there we go. Coming in right in that exact same vicinity, right along the I-94 corridor. I've mentioned it before, but if you have friends or family traveling along I-94, give them a heads up. And make sure they have their phones turned on as well to receive those warnings as they're traveling. I know heading into the weekend, lots of folks traveling.
One thing you mentioned this, I want to give Eric kudos from earlier. We're all sitting here, about 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Yep.
And Eric is looking at this and he goes, you know what? He goes, I see this looks like it's going to be right on 94 and it's just going to keep heading east. And sure enough, that is exactly what we are seeing. We're seeing that the tornado warnings popping up as this line of storms continues to move directly to the east. Now, again, at about 30 miles per hour. So again, just if you extrapolate it out, you see where you're located, you know where you're located, and you're thinking, if I'm on 94 and I am east of Jamestown, east of Valley City, you should expect, at least for the time being, that if nothing else, you're going to see severe thunderstorms move through. Whether or not we're at a tornado at that point, you just don't know. But what we can tell you is there can be a very strong line of storms. And as mentioned, there is nothing really stopping these storms. It's heading into an atmosphere that just continues to be just ripe for tornadoes to continue to form. Or tornadoes on the ground, just go ahead and kind of continue to move on without little resistance at all. So Tower City, I know, just moved into this location as well. Thank you.
I just put on this storm track. This is not for the entire complex of storms. This is specifically the I-94 corridor. Just wanted to show that real quick. So Tower City by around 9:45 within the next 15 minutes.
Right.
Wheatland by about 10:15. Again, these are moving 30 miles per hour roughly to the east. And then I'm going to highlight this entire area and do the exact same thing. Now, not every part of this is moving exactly 30 miles per hour, so I'm going to get a bit ahead of it here. Just give you a further heads up, and I'm going to include this severe thunderstorm warning that's further to the south as well. Oh, a little too fast there. There we go. So here's for this kind of complex of storms, which includes tornado warning and severe thunderstorm warning. So if you're in this vicinity, Tower City, again, 9:30-ish or so, Castleton by 10:13, Mapleton a little closer to 10:30.
And again, this is kind of going with this because we're just putting out a number that based on what we're seeing with these storms, the movement we've seen east, 20 to 30 miles per hour. So if you're in Mapleton and you see that time period, 10:27, don't take that as gospel.
Exactly.
These can move quicker, so if it's heading your direction, Mapleton, I would say by 9 o'clock here, or 10 o'clock, I guess I should say, in the next half hour. So be prepared, be ready for anything to pop, for anything to develop at that point within this line of storms. Obviously, again, spreading a little farther out, Fargo, Moorhead, looking at the next hour, hour 15, hour 30, going, hey, this could be that window of time where this very strong line of storms, whether it's producing severe thunderstorms or whether it's producing tornadoes, is heading in your direction. And again, so these times are not exact. These times are give or take a little bit direction. So again, if you see that number, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of repeating myself, but I just want to make sure that you know this. If you see a specific number that we put up, 1027 may not mean 1027. 1027 may mean 1040, or it may mean 1012. So just make sure you're prepared if you're right ahead of these storms.
Very good point there. So I'm going to go kind of a radar tour here. We're not only seeing that one tornado warning along the I-94 corridor, we've got a couple of not only tornado warnings but severe thunderstorm warnings as well. So starting with this storm up here, moving into Mayville, exiting Clifford. This one continues to be warned for quarter-size hail and gusts up to 60 miles per hour, remaining in effect until 10 o'clock here. And turning on the hail core, let's look at the last hour. It doesn't look extremely impressive. However, we could see that pulse a little bit stronger. Oh, new funnel. Okay, we have Eric's feed pulled up again. Eric, you are a mile east of Valley City. Let me pull up your location on the radar. What are you seeing?
Yeah, and Summer, I am about 1 mile east of Valley City. I'm right near the implement dealer. For those who are in Valley City, they'll know where the implement dealership is.
Yes.
I am looking directly west over towards the Loves and the gas station and the McDonald's there. There is a funnel that is just appears to be on the west side of Valley City, starting to move into town. So if I'm in Valley City, I am seeking shelter right now if I'm not already. But there is a funnel that we just had it live on air So this storm is still trying to produce a tornado very close to Valley City, I would say within a mile of the city limits of Valley.
Yes, I was just going to put on our tool here. That storm is about 5 miles or so, maybe 4 miles from the outskirts of Valley City, moving to the east at 30 miles per hour. So folks in Valley City, now is the time to seek shelter in a sturdy structure, the lowest level. Now is the time. This same storm complex has produced at least 2 tornadoes that, Eric, you have seen, and now you've just seen another funnel. Are you currently still seeing that funnel?
The funnel, yes, I'm still seeing it. It's just off to the left. Let me see it. And there's a lot of, there it is right there. There is a lot of lightning with this storm. Now, the problem that we're going to start facing here, Summer and Russ, is it's starting to get dark. And so we're going to have to give these storms a lot wider berth because we're only going to be able to tell if there's a tornado if we see power flashes or it's illuminated by lightning.
Exactly.
There's a lot of lightning, but there's probably not going to be enough for us to see if it's on the ground. So I'm going to have to back off even more here coming up.
There, that obviously we know. Everyone knows that's a smart move right there. When it gets dark, you don't know you can't see it close to you, so you definitely want to give it a wide space there. We appreciate you getting as close as you are and getting the footage that you are getting. This has been very impressive. And again, kind of walking us through these storms. We can show you the radar, we can tell you where it's going, but you being out there, having the camera, putting eyes on that tornado so people can actually see what's going on, see the potential damage. If you're seeing a tornado on the ground and you're anywhere close to these areas as you're watching us, go ahead and make sure you take cover, especially if you are, again, east of these storms. But specifically for Eric, obviously we want you to be safe first and foremost. So whatever you're giving us is helpful. But yeah, make sure you're keeping yourself safe.
Looks like right along the I-94 to about 113th Avenue, crossing into, I think that's Highway 1, is where we're seeing the tightest rotation right now on the radar. As I'm seeing that velocity signature, there we go. So Highway 1, 113th Avenue, and I-94 right there, right along the interstate corridor right there. So I've said it time and time again, if you're traveling, you want to get off the interstate, get out of the path of these storms right now. Moving to the east, right along the highway, or the interstate rather, 30 miles per hour, headed right to you at Valley City. Eric is 1 mile east of Valley City, and he is continuing to cruise off to the east to get out of the path of that storm for his own safety as well. We care about the safety of our crew here. It's of utmost importance. And we're continuing to watch a few more areas of tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings as well. So to the south, just looks for, I'll get ahead of myself. For about another 10 minutes, there is a radar indicated tornado warning. This is south of Litchville, so a little bit further south from the storm that Eric is watching right now, east of Marion is where we're seeing a little bit of that hook echo, that hook shape on the radar, along with plenty of lightning as well. This tornado warning is radar indicated, so there haven't been any eyes to confirm a tornado, but whether radar indicated or observed, you want to treat it the same and head to your shelter if you're in this vicinity. That warning remains in effect until 9:45. Just to the north of it, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 10 o'clock. This one you can see has a tornado possible tag, so it is still showing signs of rotation and moving into that more volatile environment that is capable of producing tornadoes. There's a lot of atmospheric energy to work with, along with a lot of other factors that are bringing us this tornado threat for tonight. In addition to that tornado possible, we're seeing radar indicated signs, of quarter-size hail and gusts up to 60 miles per hour. And then, of course, just north of that is the storm that we've had eyes on now for, I think, going on an hour and a half along I-94, the tornado warning. That's also in effect. I believe it was until 10 o'clock tonight. Yeah, no, okay. Yes, until 10 o'clock. This storm headed towards Valley City. Significant lightning. I'm just going to turn it off because it completely obscures our view of the more important stuff that we're watching, which is the radar. We know these storms have significant lightning, and that in and of itself can be a big threat. So Valley City, if you're not yet in your safe location, you need to be just here in the next couple of minutes. I want to turn on these correlated targets again and kind of explain what these mean. So I know my color table is a little bit off, so I apologize for that. But when we start to see the burgundy, magenta, whatever color you want to call that, that's pretty uniform targets that's being picked up by the radar. What does that mean? Those targets that the radar is hitting are of equal size and shape. So that's likely just rain. But when we start to see yellows, but more so blues, that is the radar saying, hey, these targets that I'm hitting, they're not the same size, they're not the same shape. That indicates debris. Not seeing an area that really stands out as far as those correlated targets are concerned. But regardless, we're still watching these tornadoes that have been confirmed along this area as well.
I'm going to put you to the test here for just a second, Summer,
Sure.
because I want to say, Joseph just handed me, as of 9:36, National Weather Service in Bismarck issued a severe thunderstorm warning for western Stutsman County, southeast North Dakota. See if we can find
Yeah,
that
that's
particular.
a huge warning here.
Look at you. Yeah, there you go. You've been
Easy to find.
Yeah, right. Hazards, 80-mile-per-hour wind gust, quarter-sized hail. So again, even the areas where we're not seeing tornadoes, we see severe thunderstorm warnings. What we're seeing as a precedent here is wind speeds of 80 miles per hour.
Yeah.
So the very easily, obviously, damaging winds. Mobile homes could be
Oh,
heavily
that was just
damaged.
increased to 90 miles per hour.
90 miles per hour. Okay.
This is a destructive threat for
Absolutely.
significantly damaging winds upwards of 90 miles per hour exiting Bismarck. Do we know how fast that's moving, Russ?
That is moving east at 60 miles per hour.
Wow. Okay, let's get the storm track on that one. Thank you for pointing that out.
No, that's good, and thank you for pointing out the idea there that, because we talked about the variable speeds that these different cells are moving. We've seen 20 miles per hour with a tornado warning. We've seen a tornado at 30 miles per hour. Now we're seeing a severe thunderstorm moving east at 60 miles per hour. And this speaks to, I know we'll get to this in a second, but this speaks to the idea of when we talk about being prepared and getting prepared quickly. I guess I am actually here. I know that I keep
He's
talking
just off
off to the
screen.
side, but giving you the idea that if you're in one of these locations, I promise I'll get off again. Summer's a lot better to look at to me, but is that you know, there's no guarantee that a storm's going to stay at one speed or one's going to be different than others we see right here. And that's one of the things we're pointing out is we kind of show you these different cells, different storms. Even if you're a good ways out ahead of these, go ahead and prep yourself. Just get ready to take cover when you see these severe storms pop, because again, it could be on top of you very quickly, depending. I do want to let you know, you can see some of the counties here within this particular warning area. Kidder, Logan, Stutsman, and Stutsman is the one that's actually really within our area here. You see some of the cities, the hail size. I want to point out a couple towns, though, that we're looking at. I think Gackle one, Steele, of course, as well, Linton. There are a number here, Hazleton, Tappan. These areas, and again, with the movement of the cell to the east at 60 miles per hour, or this particular warning, again, for the folks in these areas, is going to come up quickly, and it continues to push off along 94 as well, taking that same sort of track that we've seen with the tornado warnings. We're looking, okay, now behind that, we've got another punch here, another system, and again, pushing off to the east at about 60 miles per hour. I'm wondering, Summer, I know you're off there on the screen a little bit now.
Yeah.
If you could pull up some of the Cape values again that we were looking at.
Absolutely.
Because, again, showing you the type of atmosphere that these storms are in and or moving into. And what you're going to see in a second here is this atmospheric energy. Where you see these reds, you see these deeper reds here, is a maroon, magenta. I'm just kidding. No, but you know what I'm saying. Or the purple areas, that is where the atmospheric energy is just so, again, ripe for development of storms, for tornadoes. So, we got boxes. It looks like Eric is back once again. I'm going to step off here. Let Summer, she's doing such a good with the show there. But Eric, what do you have going on here?
Russ, Summer, I'm watching an area very close to Valley City. we might have we may have a significant tornado in progress near Valley City. Just in looking at the cloud motion, it is getting kind of hard to see at night, but we might have a significant. We might have something significant going on near Valley City right now. There is what I would call a significant amount of spin of these clouds, and it's all centered around an area that I can't see what's in it because it's dark, but I can see that it's spinning. So we may have something going on in Valley City right now. I just can't get a good look at it.
And it looks like they're renewing that warning right now, maybe trimming it up a little bit. Still that tornado warning for now. This could potentially be a third tornado. Again, you can't see it, so we can't confirm that it is a third tornado. But we're still seeing defined rotation in that same area. This is almost where we want more lightning to kind of illuminate what you're seeing as we head into the nighttime hours.
Yeah, there appears to be something. It's either a very wide wall cloud summer, or the wall cloud is on the ground, and we've got something that's fairly wide on the ground near Valley City.
All right, yeah, we can definitely see that wall cloud.
But I'm continuing to watch it. I'm hoping to see something illuminated a little bit better, but the inflow into this storm summer is probably 45 plus miles an hour.
All right, Nate, if you want to take boxes again, I want to put on velocity. Since it is getting dark, this is going to be a more beneficial tool as the night goes on. Right here, very bright colors, the reds, the greens. Looks like some pretty tight rotation, and that's exactly what Eric is seeing right now. You see that kind of lowering kind of on the right side of your screen. So Eric, you're east of Valley City by a mile. You're looking back to the west, correct?
I am about 4 miles east of Valley City looking back to my west.
Okay.
I am going to have to reposition here pretty soon, probably in the next couple of minutes, just to try and stay ahead of this.
Absolutely.
But there appears, I would be very surprised if there is not something in progress here.
Eric,
very, very close to Valley City.
Eric, I just want to interrupt because we just did actually get a report of a confirmed tornado. It's located southwest of Valley City near Highway 1 South, Interstate 94, near Valley City, moving east at 20 miles per hour. So there is this is as of 9:42.
Yep.
There was a confirmed tornado. So again, yes, one is definitely down in the area right now. And again, that location moving to the east. It's near Valley City. Moving to the east there at 20 miles per hour, damaging tornado, ping pong size hail with this NISIS weather spotter confirmed.
Yeah, this report says a spotter by Highway 1 south of I-94, tornado on the ground 2 miles south of I-94 and on Highway 1. This spotter also says a garage was destroyed by the tornado south of I-94. So what we're seeing right here.
Yeah, I'm going to move off to the east here, Summer. I want to give this storm a little bit of a wide berth, especially if it's as this inflow continues to increase, the tornadic potential is also going to increase. So I'm going to try and give this storm a little bit more of a wider berth. I'm going to head back east on I-94 to try and get ahead of this thing, and I'm already starting to get some pea to dime size hail here as well.
I was going to say, it sounds like it's getting a little loud there. So on this velocity signature, what we're seeing is the tightest area of rotation just south of I-94. There's Highway 1 and that spotter confirmed tornado within this area that just moments ago we were unable to confirm due to lack of visuals. We are now able to confirm that this is now, I believe, the third tornado from this same storm system. So this is a very volatile environment that these storms are moving into. So we now have got 3 confirmed tornado sightings right along the I-94 corridor that stretched back from Spiritwood now to Valley City. Okay, I'm going to turn the radar back on here.
And again, we just talked about it. Again, you would talk about the progression of these storms, of the tornadoes, of the severe thunderstorm warnings, everything. That progression, it just continues to be due east. So again, I keep bringing this up, and I know kind of maybe harping the point here, but it's going to keep moving along the interstate, it looks like, for at least for the time being, for a while. It continues to run into an atmosphere that is plenty enough unstable, enough lift to continue to create severe weather, whether it is severe thunderstorms, whether it is tornadoes. So again, as it marches on to the east, you start looking at those locations again. We talked about Mapleton, Castleton, Fargo, Moorhead, and then even beyond that to the east, you start looking at Glendon and Holly and thinking, okay, you want to be prepared and be prepared quickly for these storms, for these tornadoes, as they continue to bear down on you from the west.
And what I'm going to do is just put another track on here. These are 2 kind of separate cells, but they're moving at roughly the same speed, around 30 miles per hour. So I'm going to lump them together here. But again, as Russ was just saying, keep in mind they might not be moving exactly that same speed. So we're going to do the storm track here. Let's go right around 30 miles per hour from the northern edge of the northern cell to the southern edge of the southern cell. Both have tornado warnings on them. Looks like this one is about to outrun its warning a bit, but still seeing that hook echo, that sign of rotation south of you in Litchville as well. That is radar indicated, whereas the Valley City tornado has been confirmed now with visuals. So if these storms hold together with their current path moving east at 30 miles per hour, expected in Page here within the next couple of minutes, 5 minutes or so, heading into Mapleton by about 10:45. Again, if they're holding together, that's within the next hour. That's approaching then the I-29 corridor as well here in the Central Valley. That includes Fargo Moorhead too. So we're still in the path of these storms later on tonight. Is it still going to be tornado warned at that time? Will the same storm complex still be producing tornadoes? That's yet to be determined, but the way that it's looking right now, that is a possibility.
And Summer, I want to say this, and I know you've been on here for about an hour and a half now, you and Eric, kind of continuous coverage, and we're talking about these tornado warnings, we're talking about the severe thunderstorm warnings. What we don't want, and I know people not taking this for granted, but we don't want to become too much kind of white noise, like, oh yeah, here's another one, here's another one. Every one of these, very serious, these tornado warnings, these severe thunderstorm warnings, very serious. They continue to move up to these. So again, you want to make sure you're doing all the things. You want to make sure you find a sturdy structure, get indoors. You want to make sure you're away from those windows. You want to make sure you take cover out there, because tornado warning, yes, but even these severe thunderstorm warnings, if we talk about wind speeds of 80, 90 miles per hour along with the hail, that can create almost just as much damage. So don't let the word severe thunderstorm warning fool you into thinking, okay, well, that's not as bad. It can be just as bad when you factor in those wind speeds, again, 80, 90 miles per hour. So regardless, you want to make sure you're taking cover. You want to make sure you're taking all the precautions out there. And if for some reason you happen to be outside or you find yourself where you feel like you need to go out, please do the smart thing, stay indoors. It's not just about this line of storms already seeing. It's about the idea not only that this line is going to move off to these, it's that we could see new development. We could see new storms pop up, either out ahead, a little north, a little south, a little behind. We see the secondary wave here that is now pushing off to the east, basically same direction, only a little bit faster. So
we're
going to, yeah, so okay, yeah, times 3. So we're going to continue to see this activity. And again, most of the area is in that moderate, that higher range for the tornadoes, for just severe weather in general. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to put that graphic up.
Yeah. So again, this is a shift. This is a change from what we've been talking about since a couple days ago. We knew this was an enhanced area for us. Just in the last about 2 hours or so, all of a sudden, Storm Prediction Center is now showing moderate. So that's stepping it up a level. And again, it really hasn't. It's still, you look and go, okay, the wide berth that we have, the enhanced, but you notice that moderate area still pretty wide as well. And again, the indication we've got this this area that's in the red there, that moderate, is that, hey, certainly over the next 2, 3, 4 hours, this is an area that's going to continue to be very ripe again for those very strong storms to pop up, whether it's severe storm warnings, whether it's tornadoes, very susceptible in these areas in red. This stretches all the way to Bemidji, parts of Lakes Country as well. So just again, make sure heads on a swivel here for sure, and make sure you're doing that yourself as we continue to watch the development of these storms. It looks like maybe we have something here. Joseph, again, helping us out, giving us continual updates here. What do you have?
The severe thunderstorm warning in northwestern Trail County going to expire at 10 p.m.
Okay, I'll get out of the way here. You can jump on and pull that up on the radar.
Yeah, we're watching, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Watching several warnings, not just tornado warnings. So this warning up here in the Mayville area, this one is going to be allowed to expire at 10 p.m. It is now weakening below severe limits, no longer posing an immediate threat to life or property. It could still remain on the stronger side, so don't let your guard down quite yet, but that warning will be allowed to expire. Thank you so much, Joseph, for passing that along.
I think at any point now, anytime we have the news that says that something's going to be allowed to expire because it's weakening, that is great news, because that's not something we're seeing a lot of across the region right now.
Yeah, also kind of eyeing this storm that's popped up just to the west of Ada too. That one's starting to, it looks a little discreet, meaning it's out on its own. Let me turn off lightning. That is near Hallstatt. Let me turn on the hail core just out of curiosity here. Yeah, that hail core is starting to spike right along the river there, south of Hallstatt. Could see hail maybe up to an inch in diameter. Radar indicated, that is.
Definitely showing some signs of life there. And again, as we've seen, it doesn't take much with the atmosphere we have to all of a sudden you've got a severe thunderstorm warning or worse popping up. Tornado warning, I'm sorry, Joseph, thank you again. Tornado warning remains in effect until 10:15 for northeastern Lemoore County. Again, this is a let me read this real quick. Here's a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles southeast of Litchfield.
That's this one here.
Yeah, 24 miles south of Valley City, moving to the east, and again at 30 miles per hour. Hazards include tornado, golf ball size hail, and this is radar indicated rotation. So again, that's where we're at with that particular storm.
Yeah, this is a separate one from the one that's along the I-94 corridor. This one's just a little bit further to the south. I'll put on both here so you can see those. But yes, this one now in effect until 10:15, golf ball size hail, which is 1.75 inches in diameter. And I'll turn on the velocity data here as well. So you can see, switching between radar sites here. South of Litchfield, south of Highway 46 is where we're seeing the radar there. That does look to be in a pretty remote area. So that is at least a little bit of good news, that it's not a highly populated center. Okay.
2 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much. My director telling me in my ear, we are going to start the 10 p.m. newscast here. It will still be very heavily weather focused. If you're just now tuning in though, as long as we continue to see these tornado warnings, I believe that'll be the bulk of our 10 p.m. newscast here. All right, it looks like we are getting a refreshed tornado warning for the Valley City to Tower City area. Still seeing an observed tornado threat. This same storm complex has now produced 3 tornadoes this morning, now extended to 10:45 for a considerable threat for tornadoes and golf ball sized hail. So let's look at the hail core on this one here as well. Right along I-94 in Valley City and just creeping to the east of Valley City as well. All right, so that's what the hail signature looks like. And of course, we're still seeing rotation as well. All right, here in just a minute, we're gonna take a quick commercial break before jumping into our 10 o'clock news coverage. Still a lot to go over. There's a lot that we're watching, but we will take a quick break here to kind of re-rack and resituate as this tornado watch will continue until 3 o'clock in the morning. We've got multiple warnings. We've had multiple tornado warnings, confirmed tornado warnings as well. So there's still a lot to watch. And again, not just tornadoes, but before we go into the break here, I'll just show you more of these hail photos that came in earlier from Jamestown. This is also what's going to be possible for tonight. This one, very impressive. This was Lakeside Marina in Jamestown. That's a lemon for perspective, and this one in the same area southwest in Jamestown. So we're gonna head to break right now. We will be back on air in just a few minutes for Valley News Live at 10. Thank you for all your patience and for bearing with us here. We're keeping you safe tonight. That's our main goal tonight. So we'll be back here in just a minute.
Weather coverage. Download the free Valley News Live weather app.
Get ready.